In this video, I use a hammer incorrectly. I hold a tyre in your face. It's a little bit uneven. I wear a red t-shirt that makes me look very, very fat. I've finally got some decent tyres for it. And I remind you to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Okay, so the course is done. I've got one more job which has kind of come up. I wouldn't say last minute, but it's a job that's just come up. This little Nissan Pixo, I've given it a quick service already, that's done. So I've changed the engine oil, done the oil filter. I've done quite a bit of work on this car in the past. I've done the air filter as well. So I know this car quite well. Pretty much every year around MOT time, this car needs at least something. Last year it needed quite a bit: battery, wishbone, set of tyres. So giving it a quick once over, ready for the MOT, quick pre-MOT check. The headlights were quite badly faded, so I've given them a quick polish. They're not going to last, they will need doing again, but they're alright. The rear brake light on the driver's side was out, so replace the bulb, that's nice and sorted. I've got one more job, and that is a snapped coil spring. The base of the spring was snapped off and it's got quite a sharp angle, and with it being McPherson strut, it could pop out and pop the tyre, so that'd be a dangerous fail on an MOT. So I want to get that sorted. So I've got a new coil spring. So jack it up, get it apart, get the spring out, get it swapped out. So let's go. So firstly, while the weight's still on the suspension, I'm going to get it jacked up and whip out one of the top mount securing nuts. So the top mounts on these cars are held on with one nut on top here. So it's not like held on with three nuts like most of the cars. This has just got one central nut which you undo. This cap then comes off, and then the whole shock absorber can then drop out of the car. I like to undo these whilst it's still fitted to the car. I just feel like the weight makes it a little bit easier to waz it off with the gun. And then I'll screw it on a few threads, so when I jack it up it doesn't all just drop to the floor. So next step is to jack it up, get the wheel off, and see what we're met with. So I'm just going to put some axle stands under. I'm going to be working under it for quite a while, so I want to get some stands under there. Like lock and wheel nut key in the glove box. That's just where it should be, isn't it? All the centre console. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm wrong. Not surprised. Oh, this gun is an absolute beast. Absolute beast. In fact, I can whip the wheel off with one hand and like 3 fingers. It's ridiculous. Nice. So the only problem I can foresee is going to be this anti-roll bar link, because that is a rusty boy. So yeah, the only problem I can really foresee is that, because it literally just falls apart, which isn't very nice, is it? You can see where it's snapped just there, and there's a point on the end of it where there should not be. So yeah, God knows where the rest of that coil ends up. But I've done a wishbone on this in the past. You can see it's quite fresh looking still. Brake pads have still got plenty of life. The discs are alright, not too lipped. It's just standard typical Japanese car, rusty. Jap cars are just being made of pure rust. So quite a lot of what's coming up next is basically me just hammering, chiseling and scrubbing away at this rust on the threads so that I can get the nuts off easily. Yeah. I think it's really, really important to try and clean up the threads as much as possible. The longer you spend trying to clean these threads up, the easier it's going to be. Peace. I'm just going to screw that on a few threads just to keep it in place. So I'm going to say again. It bounced off. That's not good. Did not want to do that. It's just a 3/8 Milwaukee. I've not even touched the 1/2 inch yet. Anyone else would have gone straight to the 1/2 inch, but I thought, you know, I'll give it a go. I'll see if she's got it in her. Turns out she does have it in her. Very good bit of kit. Really, on a job like this, you should buy anti-roll bar links and expect to have to cut the old ones off. I didn't do that, so this could be interesting. So this 25-second sped up bit of footage is actually 45 minutes long, and what it is 45 minutes of me battling with one anti-roll bar link nut that just did not want to give up. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have just bought an anti-roll bar link and replaced it and cut the old one off. Yeah. Victory. It's well and truly. It's well and truly mine. Nice. Anti-roll bar link defeated. Right. That is everything holding that strut on now, and it's completely loose. So we'll pop out the two nuts and bolts holding the upright in place. Give it a bit of a clean and a once over as well on the wire wheel in a bit, just to make it easier for when it needs a shock absorber, which it will. Not today, but at some point it's definitely going to need a shock. And then this should all come apart. Like that. Cool. So leave the hub sort of sat on the ball joint. I undo this nut that I've already pre-loosened. Be able to just pull this out, hopefully. Nice. I can show you where it's snapped then. See there? No good. Alright, so the next thing we need to do, we're going to get it a spring compressor, wires this off with the gun, replace the spring, put it all back together, and roll to a winner. Cool, so I've got spring compressor, got my replacement spring, so I'm going to compress this one now, the old one, just to take the tension off so it doesn't fly off, and I'll do the same when I reinstall it. What I'm doing here is I'm just compressing this spring now with the spring compressing tool. That'll allow me to take the top nut off without firing the shock absorber to the other end of the workshop, which would probably make good content, but wouldn't be very practical. No. I need that. Keep it in order. Out the way for a second. Move that way around. Yeah, it's a good difference, I think. It's lost a solid, like, sort of half a coil. Hold it the same way around. One, two, three, four. Yeah, it's a solid sort of half a coil, because really it should be ending sort of here. And it's not, it's ended all the way down there, so yeah, not good at all. So we'll position this into our bomb diffusal device. When it starts to get tight on the ratchet, and you can really feel that spring being compressed. This is a little bit terrifying. Alright. So this should fit like that. And the spring is going to sit in the seat. I could really do with rotating that spring round, really. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just rotating the spring round in the spring compressor, and this is actually going to be the end of this car's footage because the camera died and I didn't have my lead on me, and it was quite late and I couldn't be bothered going back to my room to go and get my charging lead. So yeah, basically I put it back together the same way I removed it, and it goes for MOT the next day, and all is well. So I'm finally onto the last job. I'm going to change the tyres on the trailer. I've finally got some decent tyres for it. The weight rating is a little bit higher, so the weight rating of the tyres that are currently on the trailer are around 1700 kilos, which isn't great. Plus they're all mismatched and quite old. So I've got a set of tyres to go on that have a higher weight rating, which combined will be 2.1 tons there or thereabouts, which is more than enough for the sort of cars that I'm putting on this trailer. Also you can see the wear. It's a little bit uneven, which is somewhat concerning, but yeah, hopefully that's just due to the fact that it's maybe been overloaded in the past, or the tyres have been wearing unevenly, meaning the trailer's been slightly off centre. Plus the front tyres tend to wear a little bit more, because when you turn in, those front tyres drag, so it's wearing, I think, roughly what it should be. But yeah, fresh set of tyres. I've already got a brand new spare. That's the trailer hopefully then done. All the lights are still working, brakes and that are all good, and it'll have a fresh set of tyres. So let's get it, and then we're done. The Nissan Pixo is also completely finished, done, MOT on it, and yeah, one advisory for corrosion underneath, but that's kind of to be expected. It was a little bit rusty, and I understand it. Plus it went to Halfords for an MOT, which is never a good thing. They're always very strict, and they always want you to do any work remedial there. They're very specific about that because they're trying to get money out of you. I think you should go to little independent garages personally for MOTs and stuff, but that's just my view. Cool, so we're going to let the air out of the two tyres that were removed. I'm going to do two at a time. So we'll get this hooked up and get them fitted. So as you've seen before when I'm changing tyres, first you break the bead. It's always good doing steel wheels because you're not as fussed about scratching them. And we'll get it clamped on the bed. the tyre onto the duckbill, spin it round. Once one half's off, up and over, pull it into the well of the wheel. The old tyre off, get the valve stem off, have a new valve stem, tyre soak, drop the valve stem. Once you've pulled it through, get the tyre, lube up the tyre, more the merrier, especially seeing as these tyres are slightly higher weight rating for a 13-inch wheel. That means that they're quite beefy actually. There's a bit of weight to them compared to a normal 13-inch tyre, but like a little hatchback. So it's definitely worth lathering it up as much as possible, because there won't be as much flex in the tyre to make it easier to put on. Check to see whether it says inside and outside. If it doesn't, as a general rule, use the colour markings on the tyre and put them on the outside. They represent the heaviest and the lightest point of the tyre. Put the heaviest point to the valve stem, which is the yellow marking. It's really thick, these side walls. Christ. Use the basket and get my hands getting it on. Nice. Pretty sure that's not going to be a problem to inflate. If it looks like it's going to be an issue to inflate it, there's a load of a gap around here. Either you can use a bead blaster, but the biggest thing really to help you get as much air into it as possible is to take the valve core out of the valve. Also using a decent tyre inflator. The machine does come with one, but it doesn't flow very well. Listen to the two pops. And that's one done. Now, people might be wondering about balancing. I think it is important to balance a trailer tyre. So once I've got these fitted, I'm going to go pop over to the other workshop, get them balanced, and then get them fitted. That's them done. I'm going to get them balanced. and then we'll get them fitted on the trailer. And then we've got 2 more to do, and that's it done. So I've just finished the trailer, tyres are on, looking really good actually. So I parked it back up after having used it, because this week I've ended up with 3 more cars. So yeah, I've used the trailer, I've picked up 3 more cars, so I'll show you those, and I really need to get started on working on those cars and getting them sold. So I think from this moment on, until I'm back down to just 1 car, for sale anyway, I'm not going to do any external work for people, which is really difficult for me, because I really struggle saying no to people. And when somebody asks me, can I do this, can I do that, I'm usually sort of, yes, I want to help you out, I want to do a favour. But it's actually starting to be a problem, because it means I'm not focusing on those cars, I'm focusing on other people's cars. By the time I've done theirs, I'm too tired and knackered and out of energy and effort to actually make any sort of progress on my own cars. So yeah, I think it just needs to stop. I need to focus on what I've got going for myself and just take a step back from doing other people's cars, which I know a few people probably won't be that sort of happy about, but it's the only way I'm actually going to make any progress. Also, stopping buying, that'll help me as well. But people keep offering me cars cheap, and I really can't say no. Somebody offers me like a 2015 Fiesta or something for 500 quid. I'm not going to say no. So yeah, look forward to those. And once again, thank you for subscribing, every single one of you. I think we're up to like 70 odd now, which is insane that 70 people actually find this interesting. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you're not already, and look forward to some more silly car content. I guess I'd also like to do some content on each one of the cars that I've got at the moment. There is one that I'm probably not going to do a huge amount on. I'll just explain to you what it is, because there isn't any work on it. There's an anti-roll bar link, but do you want to see me replace an anti-roll bar link? Probably not. So yeah, I'll post links to my Instagram in the video description, so those of you who want to sort of keep up with what I'm getting up to, head on over to the Instagram, drop a follow, and you'll get to see sort of firsthand the sort of stuff I'm doing every day. And TikTok as well. The TikTok seems to be doing really well. So yeah, head on over to the TikTok if you want to see sort of previews of the videos and stuff that are going to be on YouTube, and some exclusive content, stuff like that. So again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and here's to the next video.